a gamble, I would say, to play 3 defense, 5 midfield. I'm sure there are goals going to happen with the kind of England attacking line they have. And at the same time, I'm quite happy with the England selection of players today. He's brought in Luke Shaw at the left, which is a genuine left side player, and James on the right. He's had a great season with Chelsea. He was outstanding in the Champions League as well. So
guys, आज हम देखेंगे England versus Scotland.
Scotland, for their part, history not on their side. They have a decent head-to-head record against England, but in the last 11 matches, managing only 1 victory, which came, interestingly, at Wembley in November.
Let's go. There's my guy, Scotty. Scott's my prominent. One of my favorite videos. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. इंग्लैंड वाले बाहर आ रहे हैं, लॉन्डो. क्या हाल चाल चैट, क्या हाल चाल. आज ब्रो कमेंट्री दिखाऊंगा आप लोगों को, गेम तो दिखा नहीं सकता, बैन हो जाएगा. सो आज इंग्लैंड वर्सेस स्कॉटलैंड है. अराउंड 6 मिनट में गेम स्टार्ट होने वाला है, एंड आई विल वॉच द गेम एंड यू गाइज कैन लिसन टू द कमेंट्री. सो गुड लक. गाइस कमेंट सेक्शन में जब भी आप वीडियो देंगे, just mention whoever you are supporting in this video. So yeah.
Welcome back, everyone, to the SuperFan Face-Off here on Twitch Sports. Today we're watching Group D of the Euros, most specifically England taking on Scotland. It is a very, very big rivalry. I am Jimmy Conrad alongside David Myler, former Irish international midfielder, that is. I'm going to try that distinction. Terrific midfielder, doing it in the Premier League as well. We're here with Corey as he's representing England, and Daz representing Scotland. He might not want to be representing Scotland depending on how the result goes. Just throwing some shade over Daz. It's all fun here. It's just a bit of banter, mates, as you guys like to say. Now, first topic. Let's play fact or fiction, okay? I'm going to read a statement. If you think it will happen, you say fact, and if you don't, obviously, you're going to say fiction. Now, before you answer, maybe you should go over to your chat on your own channel and see what they have to say. So here is the first statement. Are you guys ready? Yes is the answer. England will do the dentist chair celebration today. Fact or fiction? David Myler.
Fiction.
Fact.
Fiction. Okay, Corey.
If it is
So my chat is saying facts. I'm with a CEO of facts, so we're going to.
So it is as well.
You are willing it to become true, and I'm here for that. And then Daz, fact or fiction?
It has to be fiction. They're not going to score, so.
Oh, there we go. Now we're seeing some of that Scottish confidence. I love it. Okay. Now, David, come to you first again. Alex Ferguson will be mentioned on the broadcast. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
Fact. Okay, Corey?
Big facts. Absolutely.
Big facts? Yeah, Daz?
Yeah, it has to be a fact.
I'm going to say fact as well, and actually I'll say fiction on the first one. I forgot to add my own 2 cents on that. I'm holding these cards. It's a lot to think about who to give a good decision to. All right, next one. Daz, I'll come to you first on this.
Yes.
Scotland will have over 3.5 shots on target. Fact or fiction?
Oh, fact.
Facts. Yeah, you sure about that? It's not Hendry taking the shots, right? Because that's going to lead to a counterattack the other way.
I have to say, I have to be confident. I'm not confident, but I have to pretend I'm confident. All right.
Okay, and then fact or fiction? Scott won't have over 3.5 shots on goal, Corey.
It's fiction. Surely they're not going to get out there in half, so it can't be a fact.
Yeah, I don't even think Croatia had over 3.5 shots on goal. David, I mean, this seems pretty much like a big fiction. What do you think?
No, do you know what? 3.5 shots. So you're looking at 4 shots. I'll go fact.
Go on.
You say
David.
fact. This is on goal, not just in total. This is
Yeah. 3 on target. Yeah, or 4 on target it'll be. Yeah.
4 on
Jimmy,
target.
you know, Jimmy. Corner comes in, header, keeper saves it. Ball
Counts,
fumbles
it
again.
counts.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
I mean, Gilmore's in, Che Adams is in. That's going to probably create at
David
least 1 or 2
Marshall hits it
chances.
from his hands and it goes through the goalkeeper.
That's
and taken
true.
as a
That's
shot on
true.
target.
That's
So-
true. That's fair. I
But see what you
respect
get
that.
as a Scottish fan.
All right, Corey, I'm coming to you first on this one. Harry Kane will score, fact or fiction?
Facts.
I think this is a game he turns up. I'm going fact.
Facts.
Okay. All right. What about you, Daz? Well, you already said clean sheet, but I'll give you this chance anyway. I think he shows up.
Well, yeah, I think he will. I think this is going to be his game, unfortunately.
Okay, and then David, fact or fiction, Harry Kane will score in this one, and then tell me why and how he's going to do it. If he does.
I'll say fact, but I think Harry Kane will score from the penalty spot. I don't think he'll score in the regular game. Do you know what I mean? Like, there'll be a penalty, it'll be a set piece. I think he'll
Okay.
score a penalty. Yeah, so fact.
I think that Harry Kane's going to score as well. I don't think it'll be. I think it'll be on a cross. I think having Luke Shaw in the team is really important. As much as I thought Kieran Trippier did very well in the first game, having a left-sided player on the left side and be able to whip in crosses, I think could make a big difference. And Reece James obviously can whip in a pretty decent ball as well. I think Harry Kane's going to go on the end of it with his big forehead to head one home. Now we saw, and I just want to bring this up, we saw Denmark really stick it to Belgium in that first half of that game. And I thought that was pretty surprising. I thought Denmark was going to sit back and absorb. So, David, I'm going to come to you. Do you think Scotland should come out and try to press? Or do you think they should sit back and absorb and maybe get 0-0 at half and then try to sting them in the second half?
No, I think they've got to go out and press them, Jimmy. I think they've got to take the game, try and bring the game to England. If they sit off, drop deep, it's only a matter of time before England get on top of them and just control the entire game. If they go after them and they can get their noses up, put England on a bit of the back foot, it'll be only good for Scotland, because if they go 1-0 down and they start chasing the game, then spaces start to appear, gaps start to appear in defence, and then England, quality they have, the players they have, they'll just pick them off.
That's a man that has his coaching badges, everybody. All right. VAR will overturn a goal today. Fact or fiction, Daz?
I'm going to say fact today. I'm going to say fact, Tom.
Stupid VAR. It always ruins all the fun.
Honestly.
How about you, Corey? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going facts as well. VAR with a shocking decision. I'm seeing it.
And then David, what do you think, VAR?
I'm just going to say fiction. I hope that I just want to go against the two lads and just say, you know what, I don't want VAR involved.
Okay, so David, you and I are going to stay out of this. I want to see a side bet, a prop bet between Corey and Daz. We need to probably determine what that is. So I don't know if it's gifted subs from one channel to another, but there's got to be some stakes on this. What do you think, David?
I've got one.
Okay.
The loser has to do like a shoey. Everyone knows what a shoey is.
Oh.
So there's me. I better go and get my shoe ready.
Hey, can you get your shoe ready, Des?
I actually don't. What is a shoey? I have no idea what that is.
You have to get a pint or an alcoholic beverage, you pour it in one of your shoes, and you have to drink it straight from your shoe.
Wow.
You know
That's
Pie Face made that famous.
Yes,
Pie
of
Face
course.
made that famous.
Yes, of course. So are you guys going to agree to those stakes?
Go for it, why not? It's not that
all
you're
right.
from Paris, so I need to go for it.
Yeah, it seems like Daz is already accepting the fact that he's going to have to do
This
it.
is
You
what
have
my
to-
vision is going to be like later on after the shoe.
just for clarification, is it the shoe you're currently wearing, or can it be any shoe that you got in your closet?
Oh, it's going to be a brand new one, hopefully. I'll try and find a brand new one, because I ain't using a used one.
Rumor has it in my chat that it cannot, I repeat, cannot be a clean shoe.
Oh,
We need evidence.
We need evidence. Wow. Yeah, got to get the grossest shoe that you have, guys.
Daz has disappeared.
I tried to dip, but it's not happening.
Unbelievable. All right, everybody, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, join us for all of the first half breakdown as we watch this game together. What, the game's on? We're not even taking a quick break? That's what I love to hear. You guys can't hear yet. We're getting right into it. The game is kicked off, and I am here for it. Score predictions. Actually, Dave, let's go to you. Score predictions.
I'm going to say 3-1 England.
Daz, can't be happy with that. What do you think?
I'm going to say with 2-1 Scotland.
2-1 Scotland. You know, a draw might be enough, because if you get the draw here and then you beat Croatia in the last game, anything's possible. You may be one of the third place teams, maybe even get second. Corey, what are you thinking?
I'm going 2-0. I think we get a goal in the first half. Scotland tried to come out and do a little something, and we just kill them on the break.
So you're going to give Scotland like 15 minutes where they're going to control.
That's it.
Yeah. I think 2-1 England. I think that I'm going to kind of split the difference between Corey and David on that one.
I just think, Jimmy, that a bit what Corey said there. I think England would probably get a little bit ahead, then Scotland will push after them. They'll get picked off. They might. I still feel that Scotland will probably get a goal, just catch them somewhere, get one, and then they're going to throw hammer and thong in the last few minutes to get the equaliser and just get caught. Probably Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Rashford will come on, bit of pace.
Right. No, I respect that. We're 1 minute into the game now. I'm curious, like one of the first things that I look for when I'm watching these games is just how high the lines are. Are Scotland going to go out and try to press? Or England trying to press? Where are they trying to win the ball? I know it's sometimes hard to read because the energy is so high and the enthusiasm is so high. But
it's you know what it's like, Jimmy. You've got to give it. Anyone watching a football game, first 10 minutes, just ignore the first 10 minutes because everything is just frantic and everyone's everywhere and I mean everyone's so eager to run around and like you just seen there the first couple of seconds, like Lyndon Dykes goes up and he just smashes Luke Shaw. You need to kind of get that out of your system and then you start to play.
He's got the ball to head now. That's him. He's up for the game.
I love it. So Corey, when you start to watch a game, what are you looking for in the first 5-10 minutes?
Kind of patterns of play, really. Especially, I think England getting the wide players involved early. I think, especially when we saw against Croatia, like Sterling and Foden were trying to get on it or trying to run behind and make things happen. I think when you start to see that link-up play between the players, the front men, and if Harry Kane can do that well enough, players running off, and I think it's a good sign. So hopefully we see that really early on against Scotland.
Now, Daz, I'm going to stir it up here a little bit because I didn't mention this in our pre-game show, which was a lot of fun, by the way. You guys are awesome. Do you think it's fair that England gets to host all 3 group games at Wembley?
Yeah, I did wonder about that, but I suppose Scotland have got 2 games at Hampden as well. So you look at Wales, for example. I mean, they're away within Baku at one point, and things like that. So I mean, England are a force as it is without playing at Wembley. So. It's just the way it has. It's been, so not a lot you can do. Not a lot you can do. You just need to play the game.
Didn't he, in the first game?
Another man with vast experience south of the border as a player, coach, assistant manager and manager. He's really taken to the job of reinvigorating Scotland.
That'll give them a bit of confidence though, the Scots. They might have come into this just a bit wondering how it was going to pan out, but the fact they've created a good chance there should encourage them.
Well, that's the friends become enemies. 2 Chelsea boys, Gilmore and Mount.
Yeah, it's going to be combative in the middle of the park there. Plenty of bodies.
Again, what's that club mate of Tyrone Mings, who's just played that out to Reece James, another Chelsea man in the England setup tonight. Liverpool's Andy Robertson.
Yeah, Phil Foden on that side. He's got it all on against Robertson and Kieran Tierney playing on the left of the 3.
There's a big shout out in Scotland, wasn't there, to greet the return of Tierney, who has Wembley experience, of course, with Arsenal, won the FA Cup. Stones. Touch from Phillips, who was excellent in the game against Croatia. Set up the goal. Again, has played here for Aston Villa, scored a goal in the playoff final, got his club into the Premier League.
Really quick feet from Harry Kane. Again, steaming in from a distance.
Well, the wet weather will only encourage those types of challenges, but McGinn was a little bit late and England have the free kick. McTominay's been moved into the back line tonight. Played him midfield against the Czech Republic.
SFSE को लिखे लोगों क्या हाल चाल है?
His height will be more than useful for Scotland in this kind of situation. Free, pedantic about it, but eventually it is whipped in. Squirted off Rice, really. Couldn't do anything with it.
Not sure whether that was under hit, that free kick.
Scotland have only lost 3 of their last 17 games. They will come here with every incentive, historically and immediate, need in this group to put on a performance tonight.
And they want to see John McGinn on the ball as much as possible in these advanced areas. He can make things happen. But it was a long ball out that Che Adams chested and held up. Again, that will give him and his team confidence that they can get up the pitch.
Scotland's turn to just ponder over a free kick. It's a useful one too. Given away by Mings.
Good defensive header that. Plenty of distance on it.
Towards Dykes, who earns his living in London with Queen's Park Rangers.
He doesn't lack for confidence, Dykes.
He's forsaken the blonde look of last game, shaven-headed, aggressive, even more aggressive image tonight. Here's Shaw. He's been back to his best for Manchester United. Stones of Manchester City. Foden just taking it round corner for Phillips. Foden is the one player who's carrying a yellow card into this game. A second would mean a suspension from the last group game. Stones heads away to put the raincoat on, the England head coach. Played in the game the last time Scotland won at Wembley. It was the old Wembley, 1999. It was a bit of a hollow victory because they were 2-0 down in a playoff from their home game. England went through. And a victory it was. They take 1-0 here tonight.
It's been a good opening 10 minutes though from Scotland. England just waiting to get into the stride.
Chance to get James forward here. Rolls it on to Foden. James again, only his 4th start for England. Foden. Work it onto that left foot of his. Mount onto the right foot, deflected for a corner.
Well, you get Phil Foden, Mason Mount, anywhere around that 18-yard area. And there's danger, both so creative.
And they're waiting for Mings to get forward. Stones, you might remember, got a couple of goals in the World Cup campaign in Russia.
Oh!
Oh, he's hit the post. That's off for Scotland. First real effort of intent from England.
Yeah, similar story to the Croatia game when Foden hit the post early on. I think this is Declan Rice climbing high.
Stones.
No, Stones was it. So good from corners, weren't they, in the World Cup in Russia? Yeah, John Stones finding some space. He's at the height of that jump. It's a great leap. He's unlucky.
Great leap and unattended, which will worry Steve Clark. David Marshall was getting nowhere near that if it'd been inside the post. Stones, who has returned to the kind of form that made him a stalwart of that World Cup campaign. Let off for the Scots.
बस ये रोइंग लैंड करो.
Dominic caught in possession by Sterling. Thinking about squaring it. One or two options there. Trying to time it with the arrival of Mount. But Dominic grateful that didn't trouble Scotland much more.
Yeah, you won't want to be facing Sterling in the box too often like this. He zipped it into Mount, who's just got to try and get the angle of his foot right here, and he couldn't quite manage it.
So suddenly, with Scotland starting with a little bit of a roar, and they've fashioned two really good chances in a matter of moments. One by Shaw. James. It's away from Kane. Well, make sure Scotland keep possession, and McGregor as well. Chance for Adams to turn here in behind England's midfield. Looking for Dykes. Pickford was on the move. The pass could have held up on this increasingly soggy pitch.
Yeah, Pickford wanted to know where the midfield had gone to there. They vacated that space. Phillips, Rice.
Italy, Belgium and the Netherlands already in the last 16. England will join them if they win this.
Tangle of feet over there between McGinn and Phillips. Expected this kind of game. A little bit of needle.
He's a referee not to be trifled with. Don't be fooled by the smile. A good choice. The refereeing's been of a very high standard. A good choice for the game. I hear people say, oh, can't we find a British referee to take charge of two British teams? But it's never as simple as that. In a continental competition, it probably shouldn't ever be that. In goes Mings.
James.
Pickford had one or two fallouts with John Stones about whether to play short or long in the game against Croatia. Mings hustled and harried. That's his game.
John McGinn giving the ref a bit too much lip, following that little tussle with Phillips, and now this one, he's not happy and he lets the ref know. Mings does well. It was the shirt pull initially from Dykes.
Well, he is a symbol of Scotland's ability and their aggression. John McGinn is also one of their major goal threats from midfield. Here he is again. Robertson trying to be the supply line from the left. You might, if Scotland see the opportunity, see Kieran Tierney go outside him from left centre-back. They've got a good understanding.
It's the kind of start that he would have wanted, that Gareth Southgate would have expected and told his players about. Racing out the trap, Scotland. The first challenge is to see out this push.
Dykes doing well, although the header went to no profit for Scotland. It's just a little note in his mind that he can win the ball. This was John Stones, not challenged at all, planting it against the post.
Yeah, and after that you're looking for somebody to tap in the rebound. That's when you're praying for a bit of luck if you're Scotland, and they got it.
Here's Shaw. From Stones. Phillips dropping deeper.
ball.
And,
Ball.
lots of great range for Foden.
Offside?
The flag did go up. I must say it looked potentially offside, and it now is given offside.
Yeah, he drags these at the sky so beautifully, Phil Foden.
Closer.
It's good to see him making those runs, though, beyond the Scotland defence, trying to turn them.
It's touched on for Adams, who played here as recently as April in a FA Cup semi-final for his club Southampton. Hanley. Dykes is there first again.
Good shot. Harry Kane.
Kane taking over. James, Foden. Now Phillips. This young England side, average age just over 25, youngest that they've ever fielded in a major tournament. Sure. Give and go with Sterling. That's worked out well for England. Could work out even better here for Mount, but Tomine saw the danger, dealt with it this time.
I don't know why McDonald's playing like
Yeah, Scott McTominay. I know he's played there before, but it's a world of difference between that position and the one he usually adopts in midfield. And there's a fair bit come down his side early on here.
Scotland will want to be more disciplined, more diligent in their marking than they were when Stones just hit the post. Swung in by Mount. From Scotland's point of view, and they can counter-attack here.
Whoa! Nice tackle.
Foden spotted the danger. He's trying to join in the race back. Now Rice.
This should have scored at least
Lively
once.
opening 20 minutes here at Wembley.
Yeah, it was never going to be dull, this match.
Foden trying to force it forward, McTominay's there.
Oh, nice. Handball.
By Sterling. He started well, Che Adams.
Yeah, justifying his inclusion there. He had a great spell for Southampton, getting amongst the goals.
Ball. This is what Steve Clarke has been saying to his players, got to be brave in possession. Mount trying to take it away from Billy Gilmore.
Yeah, that's what Gilmore, I think partly he's in the team, isn't he? He's not afraid to get it in tight areas. But this is an ongoing story. Dykes against Stones and Mings. Plenty more to come. Sure.
Dykes' parents both from Scotland. Was born on Australia's Gold Coast. I'm sure getting plenty of support from the fans down under. Scotland's free kick towards Hanley, who wins it. Dykes goes for it. Out by Stones. Well, it wasn't quite a shot in anger from Kieran Tierney. We haven't seen too much of him yet. He's feeling his way back into it. It's a real presence, though, when he gets his game going.
Yeah, stronger on the left than the right, but he'll be absolutely delighted to be back in amongst it. I think from England's point of view, Southgate must be telling his players, do not give away free kicks in the places, the areas where they did there. It enables Scotland to get all their men forward, to load the box, to fight for the ball in there.
Mount, Gilmore came off second best that time.
I don't think this was the best England score. There's no Maguire, there's
Halfway
no
through the first half. England 0, Scotland 0.
There's no Walker.
Sterling.
There's no Alex Arnold.
Match winner here on Sundays. Breaking a little bit of a hoodoo, he felt. In other major tournaments without scoring.
It's a decent score, but not this one.
He scored 13 in his last 17 appearances for England. James. Gets it back from John Stones. Gregor trying to close James down. Phillips. Now Mount. Scotland with plenty behind the ball. Saying to England, well, what have you got, really? Rice. Again coming out to start a bit of a press, but only a bit of one. And England play round it, not forward from it. Sure. Mount hooking it on with great imagination. Sterling made it possible. But, the Manchester Derby challenge, the United man came out on top.
Yeah, he did well, kept his eye on the ball rather than the feet.
Clever pass.
Yeah, it's a lovely little chip from Mason Mount.
Dykes showing for everything and winning a mount. So there's a foul here by Rice.
Just led with the arm a little bit.
इसे देखते तो नहीं पता लग रहा कि बारिश भी हो रही है.
Well, officially 2,500 in a crowd of 22,000. Might be more than that. It certainly sounds more than that. A lot of Scots down from north of the border into the capital of England. But, bringing some dreadful weather with them.
Foul, obvious
I
foul.
might feel it's warmer tonight in Glasgow than it is here in south.
Yeah, Kieran Tierney going in strong here. Foden did protect the ball.
Alan, it was a bit of a feature on Sunday that Harry Kane didn't get involved in the game very much. Of all the players on the pitch, he's had the fewest touches to this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we imagine most things to go through Kane when England go forward, but you're right, one or two miscontrols he's had as well.
You got Coleman broke.
On top of his game as yet. There's another one. Dominated by Hanley.
I can't see.
Played against Scotland in the last time the two teams met and spoilt Scotland's celebration. They were 1-0 down, got two free kicks from Lee Griffiths, you might remember that, very late on to lead 2-1. Kane scored an equaliser deep into added time on the occasion of his first time he captained England 4 years ago this month. Here's Gilmore. The only thing probably going against Billy Gilmore's selection is he doesn't get that much game time with Chelsea. Not because he's not good enough, but because there's so much competition.
I think Tuchel was a big advocate of him getting picked in Steve Clarke's squad. He'd seen the talent straight away.
There's Tierney's first move forward, trying to link up with Robertson down that left-hand side.
Yeah, I think Scotland will be quietly satisfied with how things are going. They've given as good as they've got.
The 15th meeting between these two countries. England only ahead and wins by 48-41. It's the bigger nation, more men to choose from. That might not be the case. Here's James, and here's Kane.
Fucking use your
And he had the
legs,
space.
man.
Whether that was because he's offside or not.
Yeah, we'll be hoping the flag's gone up, because another example of him not being quite on song, offside or not. I mean, the ball does skid off the turf. It's not an easy one. Never quite gets himself in the right position.
I'm really happy
He
United
scored
is
in
not
every
signing
one
this
of
shit.
the qualifying games for England.
Fucking shit.
That's perhaps an example of why Reece James is in the team tonight.
Guys,
Yeah, defensively he was so sound in that Champions League final. Nothing hardly got past him.
I would say he's worse than me. Even was like really good in his prime.
He's certainly not fazed by the occasion.
I'll grab a beer.
McGregor, it's tidily done. Tierney does go on the outside. It's a trademark Kieran Tierney move this. Across. That's a great save by Pickford from Stephen O'Donnell, who must have thought for a moment he'd given Scotland the lead.
Yeah, I mean, he's seen it coming towards him. He's kept his eye on it, and he's kept his shape. Most importantly, catches it really well through the legs ashore. It's a top save by Pickford. This was travelling. He was travelling into the back of the net.
Scotland's first shot on target from their right wing back, and it was a pretty meaningful one.
Well, Tierney getting forward. I mean, we've seen him for Arsenal so many times. He rarely wastes those opportunities. Something invariably comes of it when he gets up that flank.
It's been an intriguing first half an hour here.
क्या हुआ चैप पे बोलने लगा
Only 7 straight wins. England have kept 6 clean sheets, but tonight's was the threat a moment or two ago. Minks.
Sancho. What the fuck is this Sancho in the
Around the corner nicely by Mount. Kane.
He got nothing to hit there, Kane.
McTominay. Scotland played on, so England are entitled to do the same. Mount. Again getting back to his feet, having a look at the referee, thinking he could have given me a bit of help there. Foden. No, it's a night on such a slick surface where the touch has to be absolutely secure.
Just stretching a muscle there, McGinn. But Scotland have fashioned the better chances. You think of the Che Adams one early on, and then O'Donnell. England have had the header from Stones, but Scotland really tested Pickford a little more.
It is a night where a slip could make the difference. Keeping the ball a priority for both teams, but keeping the balance is a bit more difficult than you probably expect in the middle of June, even in England. Mount. Scotland in their defensive default position. When Dykes getting behind the ball, leaving Adams as the one out-and-out attacker then. Here's Sterling. And now Mount. Easily cleared by McTominay.
Yeah, again now, I think the surface playing a part.
Phillips. Foden. Rice, arm raise, calling for it. He's a natural leader for a young man. Declan Rice, impressive in that respect, as well as his football skills. Lovely clip by Mount. Sterling's cleverly finding that kind of pocket, and Mount's found him a couple of times without an end product to it.
Oh, he should do better. He should do better. He knows it. We all know it. Simple enough ball, really, to get a sure touch on, to control. Once again, he's right in amongst it, Mason Mount. Rarely see a game when he's not given at least an 8 out of 10.
Rarely see a game, club or country, that he's not selected in either. He, a lot of football, still full of energy and playing a part here. Kane wasn't quite sure where the pass was going. Tierney almost overrun that. It held up a little bit on the wet. Foden.
Foul, though?
No, foul. Referee was very close.
I would have given the foul just because of this game as well.
England fans not happy with that.
Yeah, clearly earmarked Foden as a danger man. They've got really close to him, got a foot in. Scotland on the Manchester City player.
Dykes is on again. Adams might just have anticipated that a little bit better, knowing that his strike partner's doing well in the air. And with a defensive header. James settles for the throw. Looking where he saw initial run from Mount and then checked, and it would have been a corner but for the fact that the assistant has flagged for a foul. Foden feeling a bit hard done by. There was the instant when he thought he was fouled.
Yeah. Mount's just getting all over the pitch defensively and going forward.
Fucking moving ankle. Sorry,
I think Southgate will be a little concerned with Harry Kane. He doesn't look himself. He doesn't look sharp. Not much is going through the centre forward.
Scotland win it high up the pitch. again. Adams. This time, Donald's willingness to get into a potential scoring position as he did a few minutes ago, foiled by an inaccurate pass. Rice. Sterling lets it get away from him again. Tierney. We're well aware of his aptitude for advancing. Dykes. Helped out by McGregor is another of those players that every manager loves. Hardly ever misses a game, always puts in a shift.
That's all he was trying to do there, win a corner.
Corner for Scotland. So 7 minutes to go to half-time. Hanley has got a couple of international goals, has played at Wembley before for Scotland against England twice. Trying to get free here, one-on-one with Stones. Now he's gone into the posse around Pickford.
So awkward for a goalkeeper this, if they swing one in, whip it in under the crossbar.
Especially on a wet night.
Yeah. Can easily skid off your gloves, can't it?
It goes towards Pickford, and gets a good glove to it. Sterling, seeing where the supporting cast was. Foden got there, but it's a good recovery from Tierney. Looking fresh and fit, isn't he? When a player comes back relatively quickly from injury, there's always that concern that something might go early on. He's worked his way into proceedings. Trippier, the ball boy. Shaw. On the scamper. Again, staying with him. Now Rice.
Tapping decent.
Danger that Stone slipped then, but squeezed it through to Foden. England keeping the ball, but to show some patience here.
Yeah, they've been a little handicapped in this first half in that two of the three forwards, Sterling and Kane, haven't been at it. Great thing from Southgate's point of view, he's got so many quality options off the bench. Grealish being an obvious one on that left-hand side.
We're into the last 5 minutes of the first half here. Sure. An easy one to control on a fast pitch. Rice. Phillips is mixing up his game, sometimes going very deep to spray the passes, then on that occasion making a forward run, but England couldn't involve him. Finally did. So a poor attempt to switch the play by James.
England certainly haven't found top gear yet. Nowhere near. Scotland are doing everything I think they set out to do, apart from score a goal.
Going for it, beaten by Phillips. Support getting a little bit agitated. Not trying to get behind the team as James and Phillips take it forward. To go back again. Credit Scotland. They work off the ball.
I'm right here, boys.
A long time.
I'm right.
Particularly on a night like this, to keep discipline, keep that concentration. One lapse. Remember, England have won their last 3 games 1-0. One in the tournament, 2 warm-up games, and if I'm right in saying all the goals came in the second half in those wins. Mount, still time to get one in the first half here, but solidly away by Tierney. Now Shaw. Rice. Now James trying to plot a course towards a ball in the middle, but hasn't got there yet. Stones trying to carry it through himself. Only in a stumble. Foden obviously under instructions to stop Robertson as soon as he tries to get into that power and guile down that left-hand side. He's a wonderful attacking outlet for Liverpool, and when Scotland are doing well, he gets that opportunity as well, and they're not doing it all badly here at Wembley.
Yeah, kind of 20-30 yard ball into McGinn, who'd found space. More encouragement for Scotland.
O'Donnell. Gilmour. Here's Tierney. Gilmour still waiting on the left. O'Donnell on the right. McTominay sees the Motherwell defender. Good little spell this from the Scots. Gilmour.
Welcome. Way Post-Melon there. I like that name, Post-Melon. I like that.
A compliment from the England fans.
Started, right?
Players, and
which is Kieran Tierney keeping the
They've got
ball.
a corner out of that bit of keep ball. And exactly the message from Steve Clarke, and he spoke to the media yesterday about being brave in possession. They were then, and they've got a corner from it.
Yeah, and a bit of hesitancy from England. I think they dropped off a few yards too far there to allow Scotland to build up that attack, but credit to the away side, which Scotland are tonight. They're doing really well out there.
Variation on a theme involving Robertson. Manley trying to get round the back, and he did. And, Phillips clears England's lines.
Yeah, I think the biggest compliment to Scotland is that Southgate will be glad to hear the half-time whistle. Get his players in. Maybe make a few changes, just a few tweaks. Whether he'd make a substitution at half-time, I'm not quite sure. He might leave it, but he does need to get into his players.
Well, this is the latest edition, but it's been like this so often. Scotland with a cause, with a pride, defeating the bigger nation. Yes, they could have gone a goal behind. The last time they played here, actually, they conceded 3 all-to-headers. John Stone's header here hit the post. And at the other end, Stephen O'Donnell worked Jordan Pickford. The shot that really needed saving. Che Adams has been lively. The lad from Leicester, who's now football-wise a Scot. And at half-time at Wembley, as John McGinn has a chat with the Spanish officials, it is England 0, Scotland 0.
Here's a secret. You can pay your credit card bills on Cred and earn Cred coins. Use them to claim cashback and rewards. Here's another secret. Jackie loves so much.
And Daz, who are representing their respective countries. I think you can tell who they're supporting. We're going to take our first break, not our first break, probably our 3rd or 4th break at this point. We're going to break here for halftime. When we come back, we'll give you all the analysis that you need and more before the second half gets started. Don't go anywhere. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Superfan Face-Off here on Twitch Sports. I'm Jimmy Conrad, your favorite former U.S. men's national team player. We're watching Group D, baby. England versus Scotland, one of the oldest rivalries in all of sports, not just in the beautiful game, but all of sports. It's 0-0 at half, which means I got to bring in a few of my friends to help me break down the first half. We're going to talk about the former Irish international midfielder, David Myler, is going to be breaking it down for us from a neutral perspective. Then Corey, representing England, is going to break it down from an English perspective. And then we're going to go to Daz, who I think is feeling pretty good about himself from a Scottish perspective. David, I'm going to start with you, though. Break down the first half. What did you see? What needs to change for either team to have success? Go.
England need to up the tempo. They need to start moving the ball quicker. I need to see my front three more involved in the game. That's Kane, Sterling, Foden. I think they've not been involved yet. Everything's been in front of Scotland's, back five. They've obviously had to drop back. I think they need to do more. I want to see players running in behind. I want to see them stretching the fence, so then you can get Phillips forward. You can get Mount on the ball in better positions. Scotland, I'd be very happy. You're just looking. What you're saying really is like we need more of the same for the next 45. Stay in the game, defend solidly, and if we create a chance, somebody needs to take it. Of course, Stevie O'Donnell had a great, shot saved by Pickford. Jay Adams was unfortunate with the rebound. I think Scotland would be, the more pleased of the two teams at halftime.
Okay, I like that assessment a lot. You're pretty good at this, by the way. You should be a coach one day. Go get your badge.
I have my badges.
I know you do. I'm just winding you up. All right, Corey, talk to me from an English perspective. What do you think about the first half?
Yeah, I think it wasn't bad, but it could be a lot better. And I think we've seen England, the Croatia game, played too much better, got the 1-0 win. I think that's all it needs. It needs a little bit more tempo, like David said. And I think it changes the game. Kane just getting that little bit more involved. Obviously, he had that chance just offside. And he's going to be taking chances. I don't think it's going to be a game of much chances if it stays 0-0. If you get one, it changes drastically. But I wouldn't put it past us seeing someone like, I know Chat said it before, Jadon Sancho or potentially Jack Grealish coming on and changing this game. So I look forward to it.
I'm curious as to who's going to take the risk, because they could both be somewhat okay with the draw. So Daz, I'm going to come to you. Given that Croatia and Czech Republic did have a draw, that gives the Scots a little bit more of a chance to, hey, if we did get the draw, not all is lost, because if we beat Croatia, we can still finish on 4 points if we get the one draw in this one. What are your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, brilliant. To be fair, I wasn't expecting it to be as, I wouldn't say comfortable, but we've almost handled them really, really well. We've not been shy in taking the ball forward as well, which is good to see. It's nice and refreshing, especially, again, like I say, the heads could have been down after Monday. This game against Czech Republic, and I think you made a good point there in terms of we don't necessarily need to win or need to go for the win this game. If we can get a draw and then we go and beat Croatia, then there's a really good chance that we'll go through. So I don't think we should change anything. Don't take too many risks at the moment. And then hopefully nick another chance.
All right, now at some point when the second half starts, we're going to be talking about who the first sub is going to be. So we should probably do a little side wager on that. But before we do that, before the second half starts, let's do a little trivia. We have some fun questions for you guys. So here are the rules. Let's see how well you two know these two particular countries. It's more of the Price is Right rules, okay? Closest to the correct answer without going over is the winner. Now remember, you three, and I'll use mine as well. You got to use your chat, potentially, if you want, to pick an answer. Question number 1. How many Scottish players have won the Premier League title? And Daz, I'll start with you, because you're our Scottish representative.
I'm going to say 6.
Wow, only 6? I thought there would be a lot more than that. All right, Corey, how about you?
Talking about current right now, or
no, just in general. How many Scottish players have won the Premier League title?
I'm gonna go 8.
8. Okay, David.
This is when David comes up with 25.
No, it's not.
25.
It's not. It's
wow.
Torn between 4 or 5. Kevin Gallagher, Colin Hendry, Franny Jeffers, Andy Robertson.
Wow. You're not just giving numbers, you're naming names, and I'm here for it. Keep going. I haven't made my pick yet.
There's I don't know. There might be one more. I can't think.
I'll say 7.
Darren Fletcher, 5. Give me a sec.
Stop looking at Wikipedia, you cheater.
I'm not. My kid's life, I'm not, Jimmy. I'll go 5. 5.
Okay, I'll say 7. David says 5. What's the right answer? Everybody behind the scenes. I see some 9s in my chat. I see 8.
I've got a few 4s and 9s in my chat.
6 is my answer.
Oh.
The answer is 6.
Come on,
Daz.
Oh, let's go, Daz.
Who's the 6?
Wow.
Yeah,
Don't ask me. I don't...
Yes, that's right on brand for you since you're a Scot yourself, so that makes a lot of sense. Question number 2: how many matches have England won at Wembley Stadium all time? And David, I'll go with you first.
Wow.
I want you to start naming all the matches if you can.
I'm just going to go.
It's the old and new Wembley. I don't know if that helps you at all.
Yeah.
Old and new.
I'm going to say 300.
All right. Okay. Corey, I'll go to you next.
Oh.
I'm going to go really precise, and I'm going to go 379.
Wow, that's pretty high. I'm gonna go 277. And Daz, because you were last, you get to go. So you were first last time. You get to go last.
97.
Okay.
I love the way you've all gone off me with the 300.
No idea. All right. 420. Daz said 297. Okay, and the right answer is going to be, I'm kind of curious on this one. I think we might have all gone over. People in my chat are saying in the hundreds. 184. God, somebody should have just gone low. Should have bet the dollar, right? That's what you do in the Price is Right. All right, question number 3. How many countries have participated in the history of the tournament, of the European Championship, that is? I'll go first on this one. I will say 47. That's what I'm going with. Daz, I'll go to you now.
48. I'm going to say 54. Going off of your 47.
All right. David, I'll come to you.
Yeah. If you 58.
58. Okay. And Corey?
I should have done geography instead of history at GCSE.
Well, you need to know the history.
I'm gonna go 44.
44. All right. So my chat's going off. We got 52, 45, 39, 37. What's the right answer? I'm very curious. 37.
7.
Somebody in my chat nailed it. Wow.
Oh.
Congratulations. All right, next one. What was the price of admission for the first ever match between England and Scotland in 1872 in shillings? David, I'm coming to you first.
2 shillings.
2 shillings. Okay. Daz.
3 shillings.
3. Corey, what do you say?
I'm going 4. You know I'm going 4.
Jimmy,
I'm going to say 1. I'm saying 1 shilling.
Yes, go.
I hope it's the right answer. Let's see what the answer is. It is 1! Yes!
Of course it was 1.
Prediction God status confirmed. Here we go. All right, last one. How many total combined managers have England and Scotland had all time? And let's see. Corey, I'll go with you. You're first. Combined. Does Svengård Eriksson count? Just kidding. Bad joke.
I'm gonna go like 30, 33.
33. All right. Daz.
I'm gonna say 24.
Combined. You said 33, 24. I'm gonna say, oh my God, 30. I'll say 37. David, you get to go last. Go for it.
65.
65. That might be right.
Combined though, do you know what I mean?
I know, combined.
International stay for a while though. Maybe not as. Maybe
Answer's
not 24.
46. Guess who's closest? This guy right here. 2 in a row. See us
Come on, Jimmy.
Oh, you love to see it.
Yep.
I'm not English or Scottish, but I'm here for it. All right, everybody, we're going to take one more break before the second half starts. Don't go anywhere because the second half is going to be popping off. That's what I wanted to say. I'm so excited I couldn't even say it correctly. So we'll be right back for the second half of England versus Scotland.
Second half underway at Wembley on a wet night. England looking for the 3 points that would put them through to the last 16. There is Jack Grealish. Of Marcus Rashford on the left, Jadon Sancho on the right as we look. Robertson's throw. Dykes flicks on. Stones didn't go with him that time and benefited from that. Carried away by Hanley for Scotland. Sterling. Nicely for Shaw. Kane just hoping it might have squirted through to him, but Tierney had other ideas. Luke Shaw got free.
Yeah, just wandered off his man there, didn't he? And it wasn't an easy pass to find Kane, but he attempted it.
Early second half corner for England. Drilled in towards possibly Rice rather than Foden. And Scotland trying to catch England with numbers forward. Rice. Here's Phillips. No half-time changes from either camp. Sterling to vary his position to catch Scotland out. Kane. Here is Sterling again. And Foden going in. Very good challenge by Andy Robertson.
Yeah, brilliant one from the Scotland captain that, but much better start from England.
Oh! Well, even better it looked for a moment. Mason Mount let rip. And David Marshall hasn't had too much to deal with, but this really fizzed at him.
Yeah, didn't it just? Purposeful start from England this. Robertson had to be on his toes.
Another England corner, and it was towards Foden, as the first one looked as well. He couldn't do too much with it. Marshall, the veteran who got to heroic status with his penalty shootout save that got Scotland into this competition, plenty behind it. Do you sympathise with him, Alan, for that shit goal that had...
Yeah. I mean, 99 times out of 100, that wouldn't have ended up in the back of the net, would it? And he's adopted that really high position because that's what Steve Clarke, where he wants him to be.
Patrick Schick scored again today from a penalty spot in Czech Republic's 1-1 draw with Croatia. The Czechs are here for the last group game next Tuesday. That Mount likes. This time it was Kane he was trying to hit. Gareth Southgate played every minute of Euro 96 and of course missed the penalty in that semi-final shootout, looking for the better end to this tournament, but this is a difficult hurdle for his team, and Jack Grealish looks as though he might be doing some preliminary boot work to get himself on the pitch.
Well, that shot goes up on the big screens and you can hear the roar of the crowd. I don't think he's bothered about that weight of expectation. He'll certainly be aware of what the crowd wants, what the English public want at the moment.
It's taken a little while for him to convince Gareth Southgate that he'd be in the squad, let alone the team. To McTominay trying to slide it forward to the hard-running Lyndon Dykes.
I feel like England can score if the British comes out. Rashford too. I really would like to see Rashford.
Scotland's last game against Croatia.
Sterling was a striker.
Back at Hampden Park. If they were to get a point tonight, it'd give them a possibility of being one of the third place teams, or maybe even second place in the other results. 4 points we feel should be enough if you finish third to get through. It's hard to do the predictions.
Scotland able to beat the press there, work the ball forward.
Dykes is coming in, Robertson looking to find him. Calmly done by Reece James, and then Rice tries to get it forward. Hanley tight again on Kane.
It's not the same intensity to England's play that we've seen so often over the last year or two. There's certainly that intensity to Scotland's. Got the bit between the teeth in terms of the game plan out there.
Gilmore. Just turned 20. Really looking a senior figure. His confidence on the ball towards Adams. Shaw. Scotland quite happy if England slow the pace down. They've worked it out to James here.
It's when it gets in the final third, they've got to move the ball quicker, England. There hasn't been that zip to the play.
Foden. It was relatively early in the second half that England made the breakthrough, a decisive moment in the match against Croatia. This is the fellow who scored it. James. Now Foden. Whips it in, but done with confidently enough by Tierney. He's not the tallest player to play in a back three, but he's got a natural spring and a great appreciation of the game. See, the last time the two teams met, he played as the right-sided centre-back in a three in that 2-2 draw at Hampden Park in 2017. Stones. Here's Mings. The front players perhaps wanting the ball to come forward a bit more quickly, but yeah, England concentrating on playing through the zones.
Yeah, it's too slow, too pedestrian from England's point of view. Too many sideways passes.
Kane having to come deep. Of course, he led the Premier League in assists as well as goal-scoring chart, the Golden Boot winner. A rare double act in that sense, being involved in so many goals. It's led him to play a little deeper, perhaps than when he felt himself as just an out-and-out goal scorer. Of course, he is a marked man. James. Mount trying to hurry it up here for England. Foden likewise. Now Phillips. Shaw. Playing in that providing role. And he's picked out James. And you've probably heard Mount shout to Reece for the pass just to the right back's right-hand side, but you couldn't blame Reece James for taking it on here.
No, without question. Scotland just chopped off to give him a bit of space. He's entitled to have a go here.
started the season. Chelsea scored a belter down at Brighton in the Premier League. First game of the season that ended so triumphantly for Chelsea, and Reece James was along for the whole of that ride. McTominay, of course, played in a European final as well for Manchester United, not so successfully. England were without a lot of their squad in the period of the warm-up games, in which Grealish, who was available, was a real star. And that's hence the clamour really for his inclusion in a situation like this. We're 10 minutes into the second half. McGregor, O'Donnell. Alex trying to get it back to McGregor again. Dykes might get there first, and he has done, and Scotland could have something here. Robertson arriving. It breaks for Adams. He just stumbled at the key moment. In the end, Foden tries to restore some order, and it was looking a bit disorganised for England. And here comes Kane.
Just looks to be lacking a yard, doesn't he, Harry Kane? Does not look 100% out there. Might just be a night for Calvert-Lewin. His aerial ability, his old-fashioned centre-forward play, physical nature of his game. He just couldn't accelerate away from Gilmour.
He's only scored twice in his last 10 games for England, after a run of 10 in his previous 6. But this was the moment Adams might haunt him later on. If he just kept his balance, he might have been wheeling away in triumph at Wembley. Foden takes. Marshall should prevent the corner, and does.
Yeah, Southgate's got 1 or 2 subs warming up now. He's amongst them.
They're more concerned about being seen on the big screen than who's coming on. The lucky ones to get tickets in this reduced capacity. Significantly reduced, just 25% of the amount that Wembley can normally hold, around 90,000. The stadium with such a history, even though this is the newer version of it, built on the same site pretty much. Decades it was known for the Twin Towers, now for its very conspicuous arch, spotted from across London. Sterling. Scotland can't spot him here. Foden takes over. Better from England. Shaw with the cross. Foden going for it. Breaks to James. Kane, shots on for Harry Kane. Spurned the right footer and then scuffed the left footer, really. Brought out by McGregor. And, Scotland not holding it up quite as well at the moment. The England roar intensifies. Rice. Now Foden. James. And softly from Southgate's team. McTominay did well. He stretched for a ball that he couldn't quite win cleanly. He had to track the run of Mount and did. It's another England corner. Grealish strips off another layer.
It had to happen. It had to happen. It has been better second half, but not good enough for England. Still been a bit pedestrian at times.
It's a set piece going to breakthrough. Mings trying to hook it. Goal was a difficult technique. A dropping ball. O'Donnell and very calm defending by Shaw.
That's not a bad ball.
That's Pickford, route one for Sterling. Now for Foden. And Robertson gets the better of Phil Foden.
Yeah, Sterling never looked confident or convincing in that situation, and it was a promising one for England.
Robertson had a look at Dykes on the ground and kept on going, expecting the striker to get up, and certainly done that. Scotland need to get up the pitch a bit more. They're being forced back perhaps more than any other time in the game. But for all that effort from England, nothing in the way of really clear chances. But here's McGinn. First across by Don. Oh, it nearly dropped for Dykes. Mings did very well. It looked for a fraction of a second, Alan, that was going to go over Tyrone Mings.
Yeah. Lyndon Dykes was gearing up for his header here. He could see a great opportunity coming towards him.
And Scotland just taking their time getting set up for the corner. You can understand it. Chance to regroup, get everything right, wait for Hanley, who's had a fair bit of defending to do. And they surround Pickford again. Robertson, Hanley going for it. Dykes almost off the line by Reece James. And then Phillips gets some distance to it, and England can breathe again. It's a fascinating game.
It is. Reece James doing what all good defenders do, dropping in, smelling the danger, helping his keeper out.
And ball given against Kane on the halfway line.
Lyndon Dykes does ever so well to hook one round. Was it on target?
Possibly not, but Reece James didn't know that. Steve Clark.
Oh, surprised at that. Really surprised. Of all the front three, he's done the best. It's almost the easiest option, isn't it, the youngster?
So Jack Grealish comes on, with England looking for a match winner, looking for a hero. McGinn. Cheers from the Scots. Clever play from John McGinn.
Yeah, they look dangerous from these corners. Certainly did from the last one.
Well, they're singing in the rain. They'll be delirious if Scotland can get their noses in front here. As you say, Alan, it really looked a threat, the big in-swinger. Pickford had a better chance of getting that. It was hung up a bit too high from Scotland's point of view.
He's having a good game though, Jordan Pickford. That really good save from O'Donnell in the first half. He's punching, his decision making has been good.
And very nearly an assist.
Yeah. Sterling on the right now. Grealish on his favoured left side.
There's Grealish's colleague Tyrone Mings, John Stones, now Declan Rice. Like Grealish, could have had a career with another country, the Republic of Ireland. Sterling. Okay, And it was Mount quickening the tempo of England's attacking play. Grealish sold a bit short, but it drops his way this time. Domine stops the cross coming in. But from being very much a talented outsider, as far as England were concerned, Jack Grealish has become a figure that the nation looked to. Corners on the short side again, and Rice trying to flick it on. It's probably one part of Mason Mount's game that hasn't quite worked out tonight.
No, I'm trying to work out whether he means that, because it's happened a few times.
Given against McTominay. Grealish trying to take it quickly and, if you like, a little impishly. Can be a provocative player. He's the most foul player in the Premier League, and in his fairly short England career, the same kind of attention has led to a lot of free kicks won in his favour. Scotland hold their line on the edge of the penalty area. Dykes back to help the recognised defenders. Tierney, one of those, got a bit of a glance on it. Mings. Phillips, who of course made the winner here on Sunday for Raheem Sterling. Two of them combine again, maybe for someone else this time. On Mings' touch was not of a natural attacking player. Short. And Kane might have stolen a yard here. It's touched away from Grealish though.
Yeah, the first touch took him backwards rather than towards goal. Harry Kane's.
And Scotland scrapping for everything, but it's not just a scrap. But they found it a bit harder to get on the ball in the second half. It's going to be a long 90 minutes for Billy Gilmour. All the stress, he'll need help from McGinn.